Have you guys tried the Swiffer? And what's the history behind Swiffer? I've got an interesting story for you. Let's check the Swiffer out together right now. Welcome to Sunny Reviews. I'm Sunny. What do? See it, smell it, taste it, rate it. I'm not going to eat this. Anyway, this is a product review today, so we're going to check out the Swiffer. This is the Wet and Dry edition. Swiffer has got an interesting story. First of all, this is very easy to assemble. That's one of the positives that Swiffer comes with. That's one of the major advantages of Swiffer. They're very easy to assemble. It comes with this little gizmo here. This is basically your base unit. And you just attach the pieces together like this. It's got a little button here. You push it in and you slide it in. Lock and load, baby. Boom. Get that button popping out there. Uh-oh, there you go. You got that click. Click it. Click it or tick it or click it. Click it or tick it. That's what they say. We got to put your seatbelt on. So you can just twist it and you're in. Get the little nipple hanging out there. Anyway, all right, so now you got this stick and you got this base unit. Now what do? Well, they give you wet and dry cloths. Here's my cloths. And I'll give you a little quick demo. All right, so you get a little sample. Comes with these little samples. This is the heavy duty, and you're gonna hear why I said duty, how that's gonna factor into the history of this thing. Anyway, heavy duty. I guess this is your light duty, and then you get a wet mopping cloth. And this is the regular one. They also give you a heavy duty one, which I used already. All right. So what I want to show you why this thing is, interesting thing. The other interesting thing about Swiffer is that there's lots of fans, and there's lots of haters too. There's fans and haters. And the other interesting thing I found out today was that, let's say you go to Google and you type in, "I love Swiffer," right? Google used to show you how many results it found, right? So if you type in "I love Swiffer," you're going to get like 2 million results. Let me just make sure I got my numbers right here. Okay, so you type in "I love Swiffer," 1.6 million results. But if you type in "I hate Swiffer," you're going to get 150,000 results. So there's a lot more lovers than haters out there of the Swiffer, but there are a lot, 150,000 haters out there too. Anyway, and I want to show you something about, I'm gonna put this in on how you can find the number, because Google doesn't show you that number anymore. It used to show you, hey, you have this many results. Now it doesn't show you. You got to do a little tiny trick. See, it doesn't tell you the results, but if you click on this little tools button here, look. 1,620,000 people say, "I love Swiffer." Type in "I hate Swiffer" and go to tools, and you got 150,000 results. But let's just take one of these dry ones out, because these are a lot easier to deal with. So one of the tricks behind this is it traps and locks in the dirt. Okay, fun. So you could save it for your museum later. All right, so you pop this puppy open, you take this thing out, and basically you just, I don't want to stab one of the dogs. I got dogs by my feet, and this thing would be a weapon and hurt them. So anyway, you just take this thing. All you do is you take this little flap here, and you stick it over this little part here, and they got these green little tabs. You just stick your thumb in there or your finger in there. You stick something in there, and it kind of locks it in. And you do the same thing on the bottom side. Boom, easy, and oh, it's stuck. Easy peasy. There. All right, so now it's just, well, they gave you 2 of them. Bonus. All right, anyway, so there it is. This is like the duster version, so you can go dusting yourself silly if you want to. Anyway, you get the idea, and you can go around dusting, mopping. It's good for like ceiling fans, like your ceiling fans. I got a ceiling fan up there. Let's make sure it's off, otherwise you jam your thing in there and you'll break it. Anyway, you get the idea. So it collects dust. That's the whole point. There's a lot of texture on here to capture and trap the dust, okay? Now, So, and the wet one, well, I guess I should show you why. So anyway, to take it out, the good part about it is, here's the dirty part, here's the clean part. You just pop it off like this and put it in your trash. And that's it. So you don't have to touch the dirty stuff if you don't want to, unless you're really into dirty stuff. Anyway, but this one here, now this is just a sample. Now I realize it's a sample. If you want to buy the full-fledged version after you try the sample, it comes in these, boxes. So it's probably a lot easier in the boxes, but in these things, this thing is horrible because it's filled with liquid, right? So guess what? When you open it up and you take it out, you get liquid all over the place. You're gonna get this on your pants. It's gonna look like you peed yourself. Anyway, so why don't I like the Swiffer? Well, I do like it and I don't like it. I'm one of the in-betweeners. Mopping, forget about it. This is not a mop. This is not good for mopping, okay? It's good for spot cleaning, okay? You got a little, muddy area, you can just pop this thing on and clean a little muddy area. A whole room? No. This thing, you have to go through a bunch of these things then. And then you might as well have an actual mop if you're gonna be dealing with a bunch of things, because it's supposed to be convenient. This is convenient for quick things. It's not convenient for like the whole house. I haven't found anyway. Maybe there's a lot of people out there who have a lot more Swiffer experience than me. I'm a newbie at the Swiffer game, so I'm just showing you what I found and the pros and the cons. Not good for the whole house, good for quick, small jobs, okay? Also, if you got tons of dust, this thing here is not gonna pick up. It can only pick up this much stuff, okay? It can't pick up more. Get a lot of little dust on here. Great for, you got a dog that sheds, it's probably good for that, okay? We only have one dog that sheds. Anyway, the rest of the dogs luckily don't shed. But anyway, you get the idea. You can certainly quickly clean up some dust. Like I said, the ceiling fan's great, easy. You don't have to get up on a ladder. This thing will reach the ceiling. This thing will reach a lot of places, under your sofas, under your bed. It's great for that kind of thing. Whole house though, I don't know. Remember, limited work. If you think of it as a limited quick clean, it's great, okay? Whole house, I don't know. You tell me. It gets over everything. Now, does it pick up stuff? Look, see this little piece of fuzz over here? Nothing. You gotta plant the thing right on there and smush it in. And it still doesn't pick it up. This thing is annoying me. It's making it's also making a horrible sound. It's like it's scraping. I think that's like there's somebody on the chalkboard, with the chalk and it's wet. It's wet in some places, not in others. It does not pick up. This thing is not good. This thing is not good. It's not enough wetness to, mop a room. That's for sure. You get it's somewhat wet, but it's not picking anything up. It's just kind of moving schmutz around, moving it around. It's not picking up the stuff. You gotta plant the Swiffer thing right on top of it and hope it decides to pick it up. Otherwise, look, you get this giant mess of yuck there. It's gross. Doesn't work. Oh, Mr. Wiggles, what are you doing up there? Oh, throwing the pillows off the bed? Let's mess up this. Okay, Mr. Wiggles, what are you doing? What in the world? Do you want to help? Do you want to help, Mr. Wiggles? Okay, that is not a lot of dirt for how dirty this floor is. And now, wants to see this thing. Look at him, fearless. This is for the birds. Not even the bees, just the birds. Not a fan of this thing. It's still schmutz everywhere. Schmutz on the floor, yeah. So it made it a little wet. It just pushes the dirt around and doesn't pick it up. Not good. All right. So what is the history behind Swiffer? I think it's fascinating. All right. So who makes Swiffer? Was there an inventor of Swiffer? No, there wasn't. Swiffer was made by a company called Procter & Gamble, P&G. You know Procter & Gamble. They make diapers like Pampers. They make Mr. Clean. They make household items. They're like a conglomerate. They own lots of brand names, lots of inventions behind this company, based out of Cincinnati. It's a huge company. It's like one of the biggest companies in the world. Anyway, so back in the 1990s, the executives at P&G, we'll call them, Procter & Gamble, said, let's try to discover new markets. Let's try to think of things that haven't been done before things that are stagnant, and maybe we could turn it around. And one guy said, well, what about household cleaning products like mops? They've been doing mops for the same way for decades. Is there something else that we can invent? We can create our own market? And then somebody came up with the idea behind the Swiffer. Basically, a very easy, they observe people cleaning their house, mopping, with the bucket, mop in the bucket, and then also with the dustpan and the broom, and to try to come up with something that combines all those things into one easy and convenient thing, okay? And they came up with this idea of the Swiffer. Now, one of the things that they came up with was this whole idea behind this disposable pad. And that's where their diaper business comes in hand. Basically, they had the idea because of the diapers, okay? Diapers. Think about this as your diaper, okay? Disposable. Soaks up schmutz and you chuck it. Same thing with this. This will soak up your schmutz on your floor and you chuck it, okay? So the same idea. The people behind Procter & Gamble were inventors of diapers or marketers and sellers of diapers. So they had a lot of experience with this kind of thing. That's one of the reasons that Swiffer became successful, because they were combining their household cleaning business and their diaper business, and poof, Swiffer. Now, interestingly enough, this came out in 1990, I believe. But 5 years before this, in Japan, another company had a Swiffer. They called it something completely different. It was something like, that's my Japanese version for Swiffer. Whatever they called it, I don't know. But it was a Japanese Swiffer. Not the same exact thing, but they were out with it before Procter & Gamble came out with it. And then, by the way, another company, the Pledge company that makes Pledge, SC Johnson and Company, they also came out with their version of a Swiffer. They called it something else too. So Procter & Gamble, I think, is the most successful, and probably you might think they're the originator. They're the originator in America. They're an originator in America, but the Japanese had us 5 years beat by their own version of Swiffer. Anyway, with the people at Procter & Gamble, one of the ways that they could tell this was becoming successful was with Google. They would do searches on Google just like we're doing it, and they would say, oh, wow, we have 100,000 people that like us. And then by the time Google started kicking in more, they said, oh wow, 250,000. And by the time they really got kicking on this thing, they had 2.5 million likes on Google and search results. So anyway, it was important to them to do what I'm doing here, looking at the search results and see how many numbers were there. I don't know if they were looking at how many people hate Swiffer, but you get the idea. They were using Google also and using that as a measurement of success. And of course, the biggest measurement of success that they were using was money. They were selling $1 billion worth of these things. This thing is like an industry. You go down to almost any supermarket, any big box store, Target, Walmart, anything like that, there's a whole Swiffer product line. They've got lots and lots of products, not just this one. But there's lots of different hacks out there. There's all kinds of websites that people have developed all kinds of methods of using their Swiffer. But for me, I don't know. I found it that it's really great for just quick cleanups. But if you're doing a whole house, I haven't found this to be a great thing. I need other products. I need a real broom and a dustpan. I need a real mop and water and a bucket of water. This is not going to do it, but for a quick job, it's going to do your job, and it'll do it conveniently. And that's why this thing is so successful, because it's convenient. That's who they market it to. They market it to young families who are busy working and taking care of their house, and they needed something quick and easy to use, and this puppy worked. All right, guys, let me know what you think of the Swiffer. Thanks for watching, guys. Put your comments in. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next Sunny Reviews. Later, Gators.